When I look up at the sky, I wish I could see a band of angels watching over me. One would be you.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. Today I have this guest on the show who I've known for many years now, and I didn't realize, how impactful our relationship would have been. I remember when I was the CEO of Cape Islands, I wanted us to do something that involved the people, and the first person in my mind was Barbara. We'll talk about that later in the interview. We're going to have a candid conversation with Ms. Barbara Johnson, who's my guest today. Barbara has a powerful story. We're going to talk about the ups and the downs, the positives and the negatives. Of course, that's what the story is about. We're going to have some good and some bad. We want to hear Barbara's story, and I'm honored to have this opportunity, to have this exclusive interview with Ms. Barbara Lee Johnson. And with that said, I want to welcome Ms. Johnson to the Drexel Seymour Show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes. How's it going with you so far?
Thankful, blessed, humble. It's been an amazing year.
Yes.
And so I sit here today with nothing but gratefulness
Yes.
for everything that has happened thus far.
Yes. Let's start from the beginning, Barbara. I know you're born in the Bahamas, like most people, probably back then. Parents and grandparents migrated to the Bahamas, and of course, their children there. But you came to the Turks and Caicos at what age?
At the age of 2 years old.
2 years. So you man, Barbara, you're Turks and Caicos Islands.
Not by many think the same.
Really?
But yeah.
People do not consider you.
When
There are some people that do not consider
when
you.
convenient. There was a you're born in Bahamas anyway, you're being in anyway.
Wow. But Barbara, both your parents are from Turks and Caicos, aren't they?
Yes. Benjamin Johnson and Kathleen, Queen of Rigby, married to my dad. She was deceased, she's late, but they're both Turks and Caicos Islands.
Wow, I'm sorry you experienced that part. I mean, I just think, being here from when you was 2 years old, both your parents are from Turks, your grandparents from Turks, you're Turks and Caicos Island, I mean, many of us are having our children away in Florida. What are we going to say to those kids? They're not from Turks and Caicos. But you don't let that stop you, though.
No,
Because you know you are.
And all my life I've represented the Turks and Caicos Islands.
And you did well. And you did well
Thank
representing
you.
us.
I love the country. This is home. I've made the Turks and Caicos Islands my home. This is where I want to be. This is home for me.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm one of your biggest supporters, one of your biggest fans.
That I know. And
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. So how was life growing up in Provo, right? You grew up in Provo.
Yes, in Blue Hills, the settlement of Blue Hills. We had a wonderful childhood. Ups and downs like every other family. We're not perfect. But my grandparents, Ozita and Charles Rigby, they ended up caring for all of us, 9 of us altogether. And 9 grandchildren between the 3 sisters.
Okay.
And my mom had her 3. And they had moved away in order to make a better living for all of us. But growing up, we had a wonderful child.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't grow up with your father in the house then?
There was a period where I think my mom was separated at one point.
Okay.
And they had gotten back together, and that did not work out. And I remember just short memories of him being there, and then he was gone again.
Wow. And then after you finish high school, did you finish high school in Provo or Grand Turk?
Grand Turk, because back then there was a lack of high school in in Providence Valley. So most of the children, after finishing primary school, move to South Caicos or to Grand Turk or to North.
Yeah. So you say you finished high school in Grand Turk. So how many years you spent in Grand Turk?
4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
Now, I know, well, we're having a candid conversation. Let's just put it up there.
It's candid.
I know when I was growing up, I'm from South, when I was growing up in South Caicos, even though we are the Caicos Island, of course they say we're East Harbor, we really treated the people differently that came from North Caicos and the other islands, because people, North Caicos didn't have a full 5 year, like they ended at 3, form 3. Now, you coming from Provo, did you experience any discrimination while you're going to high school in Grand Turk?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I did.
Was it from the people of Grand Turk? Was it from the people of... Because when I brought this up before with someone says it wasn't really the people of Grand Turk. They were saying it was the people that were from the Caicos Islands that live in Grand Turk that treat the Caicos Islands people that way.
That was not my experience. Let's be clear. There's been some amazing people in Grand Turk.
Of course.
That we have lasting relationships that have treated us treated us well. Okay? There were a few that did not take a liking to me. I touched base on that earlier. Because I was, you say, west of the Bowie.
Wow.
Okay? Because I was called Caucus, ASS, more than once. Okay? Yes, this little girl from Blue Hills. You hear me always talk about this little girl from Blue Hills. Yes, I went to school in Grand Turk. Stayed with my grandmother, Vivian Clark, and my dad, Benjamin Johnson.
Oh, so your dad's family's from Grand Turk?
Yes.
I see.
Yes. And going to school, there was quite an experience. And then the late Joseph Robinson, he became my mentor because he took me under his wing after saying a number of things directed at me. Because now I was that girl who he was putting on stage. I was that girl who, is going to take the lead in a song on stage. That should not have been for me. And that was some of the reaction. Some of the people like Sean, Honorable Sean, Malcolm and all that stuff, he was never in that group, but there were some that, and what they did, and I have to talk about this because it put a rift. I resented my dad for years.
Why?
Because those people who didn't like me told tales on me many times. And went to him with it, and he believed it. And so I was punished for things I did not do. Hence the reason the comment I made, like, don't accuse me of lying, stealing, and doing bodily harm. But anything else you accuse me of, I feel like I'm punished for the rest of my life. Whatever you say, yes, it happened. Yeah. I take that approach. Defending and trying to say I didn't do anything meant nothing. Because it came from these people. I understood. You're a father. You've got 2 daughters and grandchildren just come to go to school. You don't want their name on the street. No parent wants their kid's name on the street. But life has taught us that if you do good and people can take your name on the street, they're going to do it. You do bad, they're going to do the same thing. No matter what you do, if they can
drag your name, you don't do anything and they still take it.
That's the whole point. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. If I did something and say I did I did it. But if I ain't do it and I tell you I ain't do it. But my resentment with him was he didn't come to me and talk to me about it. I just got punished, cut behind, you name it, for a tale someone told you. We are good. We're in a good place now.
You and your dad.
Yeah, I love it. We're in a
good... He just celebrated his 80th birthday, right?
Yes. And I'm happy where we are.
That's good.
But I had to bring that up because, there's this thing, she's from Provo, no, she's from Grand Turk. Grand Turk have great memories, But that side of it were not great memories for me. There was a point where I wanted to come back home. Send me west of the buoy then, take me back. Because if this is what being from west of the buoy means and people treat you this way, then I prefer. And Mr. Robinson many times went to the house to ask me to perform in certain things. And because of a tale, imagine I'm leading a song in a show, but the girl who's leading the song can't show up. And because they knew that my father was a no-nonsense type of person, and he was believing what they said, many times, Mr. Robinson, there was a time I was rehearsing with him, and where they said that I was Mr. Robinson knew it wasn't true. And that's the reason why he kind of took me under his wing the way he did. And he went to go to my father and said, this did not happen. But because it was on the street, and come on, man, the punishment was, I was tired. And if this is what, friends, I never kept a lot of girlfriends for the same reason. You guys are just telling tales for no reason. I prefer a male friend, and then I don't care if you accuse me of my take them, but I prefer male friends than a lot of female friends because I've already seen how damaging their tales can be.
So other than wanting to go back home to Blue Hills, Provo, how else did that impact your life? I mean, your self-esteem, your
It was
confidence?
depressing, and I don't, it was depressing, and because, I see these people in the grocery store today. Some of them that did me wrong, I'm seeing them in the grocery store right here in Provo, west of the buoy, right here.
Amazing.
And I greet them with the same, and I'm sure sometimes do they reflect on what they did to you in school? Most times not. They may be older and have changed the way they live their life and the way they treat others. That's true too. But people remember how you treat them. I may be forgiving, but I'm stupid. I forget. And so when I feed you, if that spoon were all the way down on the next end of the island, I can feed you with that long spoon. And I can love you from a distance. Family, same way. I'm gonna love you. But my space is very important to me. And who I surround, my circle, very small.
Yeah.
Very small. And I'm happy the way it is right now.
I mean, that's a good learning lesson for other people who are watching this as well.
Of course. Like I said, there were many great people to this day that have treated us. And it was in Grand Turk, let me make clear. This argument of, she's from Blue Hills or she's from back Salina. I can give both credit in the sense that in Provo, I was sheltered. School, home, church. In Grand Turk was where I feel like my career began because of the people like Joseph Robinson, Dr. Hugh Fulford. Let's not forget Miss Louise Garland Thomas, because when we were promoting the Turks and Caicos, she was right there with us chaperoning and making sure the girls was okay. She was there. Those are people that have been instrumental in the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
Even like I talk about Lake and Rita, the modeling shows that they had and getting me on stage, the confidence, builds confidence. Okay? And so those people I can never forget because they were the stepping stone of my career.
Wow. I think you need to write a book.
I've been told.
And then tell us about your first job.
My first job was a receptionist. Because as a receptionist for it was Island Properties at the time. That was my first job at Island Properties.
Okay.
Yes, and that was quite all of the jobs. and quite a learning experience.
Yeah, I believe that everything we go through
Yeah.
is a learning experience. You're gonna get something out of it. It might not be your final destination, but it's a journey.
It's something.
You know,
Yes.
that takes you to where you're gonna go. You know, and then we consider you the songbird. In fact, you have, I don't know if it's official, but in my books it is official. We consider you the songbird of the Turks and Caicos Islands. When did you start singing? I know your middle name is Aretha, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was Aretha from my mom and dad. Well, they both had a love for Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And they named me after Aretha Franklin. So
They
it's
spoke
not,
that
it's
into
not
existence.
Barbara Lee, it's Barbara Aretha Johnson.
Oh, there's no Lee.
There's no Lee.
Okay.
There's no Lee, even though I answer to it.
Mhm.
And I understood how that kind of came about because in private school, which is the Osita Jolly Property in Wales now, there were so many barbers in the school. It was about five or six of us.
Okay.
And so to differentiate between each one, I think I got stuck with Lee
Okay.
on my name, and it just went ever since.
Okay, so it's a common name.
Common name,
Okay.
yes.
So tell us about the singing.
The singing really started in church.
About what age?
Oh, young, 6, 7,
Oh.
and then backtracking. My mother had a melodious voice. She was always singing. My grandfather Charlie was always singing. Grandmother in the house. So, you know, and then that's where that brush and comb in the mirror begun. You know, singing, but it was church, school, home. So that's where it really begun in the church.
Okay. That's. I mean, a lot of many celebrity singers. A lot of them started off in the church. You know.
Some people, even when I sing that, they go like, "You started off in church," because they can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. And then before we go into further degree, I know you were also Miss Turks and Caicos. Was it 91, 92?
91, 92, that's correct.
Yeah, I just returned home from university in 91. And I remember you being crowned, and I think you won Miss Congeniality.
Yes, Miss Congeniality at Bangkok, Thailand. That's where the Miss Universe was held that year.
Congratulations.
Thank you on that with the help of Mr. Carlton.
Yes.
He was amazing in prepping all the contestants and whoever won and preparing them to go to Miss Universe. So hats off to you.
Yes.
Miss Jerry, never forgot your kindness and guidance in those areas.
Do you think that's something that we should continue? I don't know why it was discontinued.
I don't know what went wrong in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I know pageantry and even with modeling, which helps to build confidence, the way we speak, public speaking, and so it has its the do's and don'ts and the great things that you can get from it. But some people have great experiences, some don't.
Yeah.
And so I can only speak for myself and what it has done for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's lessons that you take into adulthood.
Yeah. Barbara, I know, I think shortly after your reign, or maybe a year after your reign, you lost your mom.
Yes. Yeah, I gave up the crown that Friday, and I moved to the U.S. where she was, and 3 months later, she was gone.
Wow.
But she, you know, I was the loss at such a young age. My siblings and I, Melanie and Dante, have already passed the age
Mm-hmm.
when she died.
Mm-hmm.
She died at the age of 45.
Wow, that is young.
and I consider it young. And I'm 50 odd.
You are?
You
look good. You look good for your age.
50 odd. We'll discuss with the audience later. But thank you. But the loss was great at the time, and so pivotal. Mel was in school, in high school, getting ready to, to graduate, and we knew that she was not well, and she did not want to leave none of us, but then she was very concerned about Mel being so young and all of that. So we were happy that when she was able to come for Mel's graduation, she was able to do all of that. Like I said, we knew that she was not well, but to be honest with you, we were not expecting. We thought we had more time with her. Yeah. Great loss, a great woman, and even to this day, because of the way that she was, her kindness, her love for people, we've reaped what she saw in her kindness. This is saying, "You're queen and daughter, girl, come here." And you understand? It's just amazing that even to this day, that still happens.
Yeah, but you do the same thing too, though. When I called you to do the song for me, if I should say this publicly, because I don't know if I come to you the same thing, but
many have. Don't worry about it.
You told me.
What you gonna say?
You told me there's no fee. You told me you're going to pay away for it. I said, really, Barbara?
That's how you pay away forward. Kindness. Kindness.
I'm very
sure you've paid it forward to me. And so I was honored to pay, even though it's forward from me, pay it back to you because of what you've done to propel my career forward. Because after you did that, so many doors opened for me. And so you have to do it. People think I'm a rich woman. I'm rich, yes, with so many other things financially. No, but we're rich in kindness, rich in love, rich in gifts. We use rich loosely, and we only look at it as
monetary.
It's more than that.
So Barbara, I know you say your mom lost. That must. She was 45, so you probably was like in your 20s.
In your 20s. Yes.
Yeah, your grandparents were still alive.
Yes.
So she died as the parents.
Yes. My grandfather he was saying he couldn't believe that. You're supposed to die before your children, but to have a child die before you. Yeah, so. It's a great loss.
What an experience.
Still to this day, great loss.
Yeah. So your children never got to see your mother. Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Trust me, their life would have been enriched by having her in it. So we can only tell them about her.
Yeah.
She lives on by just sharing so much about her to them. Yes.
Now let's go into your. I know you've been singing since you were 6. You started writing your own songs and singing your own songs. Well, what was your first song that you wrote and sang?
Missing You.
Missing You.
It was dedicated
to your mom.
To my mom. I wrote it, but I never had an opportunity to record it until I did my last album in 2016.
Okay. All right. And so what year was that, around 2000, when you wrote the first song? I know you say you didn't record until 2016.
It wasn't long after, but it was a progress. It was like you would just write something, it was over the years, and you would go back to it. I kept going back and changing what best would describe.
Okay.
To put your feelings into words that someone would understand. When I write, it's not just for me. It's for other people to relate to that, to that feeling.
Absolutely.
Only until you pass through something would you understand.
Absolutely.
The loss that a person would feel of losing a mother, especially someone of that caliber type of person that she was.
Yeah. And then, so your first album then that you produced was at the time when we at Flow gave one to help you with that. Let's talk about that.
Sure. It was it was amazing how that all came together, because the day prior, after pursuing avenues that was unsuccessful, let's put it that way, I had put off Mr. Fred Ferguson for many years.
That's the producer?
As a producer. Because he wanted to record me for a very long time. He wanted to do nothing with me. And I always had this thing where I wanted to work with my own people first. And since that did not pan out, I had a word with my grandmother. And it was something that she said that was very profound. You cannot let the lack of support in trying to get things done, if you don't get a response, you move on. You cannot let that define your dreams.
Otherwise, you're never be able to achieve it.
You're never be able to achieve it. So close those doors and reach out to the people who are willing to work with you. And once you do that, let's see where that goes. And after much thought, I wrote a letter to someone that I love dearly and had always had dreams of recording with, to let them know that I'm moving forward. I did do that. And
that's someone you had approached before, and it didn't come through.
Right. Because I never wanted them to feel like
That's
I
still nice
slighted them in any way.
Yeah, that's really professional.
Not just that, because of the love and respect that I have for the individual. And the dream was not panning out. I didn't see any other way forward. And at that point, it had been 10 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
It had been 10 years. Asking to the point where I was almost begging, and that's when I seek the guidance and counsel of my grandmother on what to do next.
Mrs. Cedar.
Yes. And she told me, move on. You cannot let your dreams die because that door wasn't open wide enough for you to walk through.
That is a lot of wisdom your grandmother gave you.
And so I moved forward, and I made a phone call to Mr. Ferguson the next morning. And I remember him saying, finally, you're ready. And I said, yes, I'm ready. And he said, well, look, looking at the logistics, I would have to travel to Nassau.
Oh, well, you have to travel to Nassau.
I would have to travel to Nassau, to his studio, to do the recording and work. And so I remember him saying, look, we got to do 2 songs a year. We're going to get an album. If we do 2 songs a year, we'll compile them and get an album. If we ever do singles, we will do it. And amazing. What's amazing about that, I had recorded a song with him 4 years prior. It was a song, and he wanted me to record it, Will I See You Again, that ended up on the album. That was recorded 4 years prior. He didn't do anything with it because I was like, hold on. Let me try to see if I could get this working first. And he respected that. I wanted to work with my own home people first. And he said, well, okay, for starters, we got a song already. We've got one, so bring what you have. And I said, great. Next morning, you called.
Wow.
Next morning, you called. And you told me, look here, we want to support local artists. And we're reaching out to you. And would like to do an album. I couldn't believe it. I remember working with the Honorable Arlington Law School at the time. And I remember him walking over. You so happy today? What's going on with you? And I told him the great news, and he said, then go ahead, man, do what you gotta do, because it would have taken time for me to go,
Yeah.
you know, to travel and do what I had to do. So he was very supportive in that. And when I got home to my grandmother, whew, I was calling Mom. I couldn't believe what happened today. Mrs. Seymour called. And it was amazing because she said, see what I told you? Move on and you see the doors.
And you and I had no
No.
prior conversation about
No.
that. You know.
And you didn't even know what happened the day prior to me
No.
talking to Mr. Ferguson,
No.
who was willing to help me. And I said, look, what's crazy about it, I said, I had no money. Mr. Ferguson, I have no money. He said, well, don't worry about it. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. And so when you did that, and I made I called them back. I said, you won't believe what just happened. I called you yesterday and we have a sponsor. I'm sure he was thinking that I probably went around asking people, could you sponsor me? No, that did not happen. Out of the blue,
Yeah.
you made that phone call.
Wow. And so how long did it take you to get that first album? And how many songs were in it?
There's 8 songs on the album, but I
8
think
songs.
we only know 2.
I can look up for me.
And this is my island.
This is my
The others are not played. The others are not played, and that's the sad part. You know the sad part about
But
it.
it was playing the Bahamas, you know, because
No, the entire album plays.
yes, because I remember listening to Zab Nas.
They play the entire album.
They said, Barbara, she said, Drax, I know someone. Yeah, they play it all on the Bahamas.
Yeah, but I think now they're gradually playing it here, but when it aired on Z&S, my phone rang off the hook saying, how come you didn't tell us you did a new album? And I'm like, it's the same album.
Same album.
It's just the songs that you're hearing now. It's just hardly ever played.
Yeah.
So
The reason I've been hearing a lot of songs on the local radio station, I must say, which has been a great improvement.
yes, it
So
is.
back then,
Back then, oh no.
why do you think that was no appreciation?
And you know, it's a situation where, you know, you send to the radio station, and if whoever is playing, and if they like a specific song, that's what they push. They're gonna play what they like, and if they like the others, which is sad because the audience don't get to hear
Yeah.
all of it. So I don't blame people as, well, we would have supported it, but we didn't know. You didn't know. And I make it a point, no matter what I do, we always, before we disperse it anywhere, we take care of the radio stations first. We make sure they get copies of everything. Whether it was it's so much avenues to forward music now. But I ensure that if I physically go around myself,
Yeah, give them.
and I give it to them so they have no excuse. Yeah, if they want to play it and then you hear, you know, we would love to play it, but you have no content. There is content, you're just not playing the content.
There's content.
There's content.
And
Not just for me, other artists. And so that's the reason why you find, why should we spend so much money to go? Because these things cost money.
yeah,
To go in the studio, time,
it's your time.
over and over again to try to perfect your craft, to put it out there. The loss is great because this you don't get that back. If you email it to somebody, everybody happy,
Yeah,
but they're not gonna buy it.
that's
You know,
right.
someone actually told me straight out, why would I buy your album to get one song?
So, wow, how did it make you feel as a local artist, not hearing your songs being played and being appreciated? Yeah, how did you feel?
Of course it hurts because it's the time, the money you invest in something. Even you as a sponsor, I mean, I don't think you would feel the way I would feel, in the sense that this is my voice that's out there. This is, you know, the time, the travel. For me, I had to travel to do
Yeah.
it. And it hurts. And so how do you encourage the next person, the next entertainer who comes up to say, we'll do it? And so you find there's a market for it, though. We'll get there. There's a market. It's not through our people. You will find a few that would support, yes, but the tourists that comes to our shores, they eat that stuff up.
Mm.
They will buy in a heartbeat. If I'm performing and I say, well, this song is from my album Chronicles, well, this song is from my album Time for Me, and I would sing it, well, wait a minute, do you have that here? Because we want four, we want, and that's how I was able to sell it.
Wow,
Because they want it.
that's amazing.
It's a momentum they take back home with them, something from the islands.
That's
I
amazing.
went around to resorts trying to get the album in, like, they have little boutiques,
Mm-hmm.
and try to get it.
They turned you down?
Some of them,
Wow.
just never happened. And so when I took it, I know there was some resort where I took it to, I was asked, do you have permission to sell this? I said, I'm singing the song and if they want to buy it from me,
Mm-hmm.
is there something that says that I cannot sell my work? Because it wasn't for me not trying to get it in the boutique to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go the right way first. But then after my grandmother told me, if it don't work out this way, try another way. How am I going to get my music out there? It's every way you turn. It's no. That's why you see most artists
Wow.
who have made it, they used to sell their music, international artists, sell their music in the back trunk of the vehicle.
Wow.
Just to get their stuff out there.
Yeah. But despite that, you never give up because
No, you can't give
you
up.
end up writing more songs and getting more
You
albums.
can't give up because before my writing, when I cannot express it verbally, in my quiet zone when I think about things, I write.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a therapy.
Yes. I will put it in song form.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been my way of dealing and coping with a lot of things. My songs are based life experiences, really.
Now another favorite song. I know we like the time. I love the time. And let me tell you something. Nobody gets me to dance. But
Oh, I saw the video.
but
I saw the video. I was there.
Yeah, your sister.
So you took off your jacket.
You know,
I was like, Lord help.
I don't dance in public, except in church. But Melanie launched her book, and my daughter and I were there, and I was ready to leave. And then I hear time, oh boy, I turn around.
As a matter of fact, it's not just in dancing. The lyrical content, and Fred Ferguson, because Alia Coley, she also did a few lines inside it and actually changed the direction of some of the songs. But it's basically everything that I wanted to say in it, right? Basically,
I love
life experiences.
Yeah, I love
it. Every verse in the money part that literally happened.
I believe that.
Okay, and so and people think, oh, she wrote about me. She wrote. I think that's where that's how I feel about it.
But it also happens to other people too.
Exactly. But I had to tell a lady, be careful how you. I don't want no more enemies, because she would say, I told my children, enough. Like Barbara said, time for me to look out for me. I don't want them thinking that I told them. People interpretation.
No, they just pulled it. They just pulled it.
Yeah, but I don't want the children. I don't want the children having no feeling towards towards me. Just be careful how you throw it around. The context in which you do it. But it has been my number one hit. Yeah. And people can relate.
Yeah, of course.
Can relate to it. So.
Yeah. Now there was another song that really, really is well liked. I think it's called "Bless This House."
Yes, "Bless This House." That was produced by Mr. Quentin Dean.
Okay, that's another
amazing, talented, and young man. But "Bless This House," I think I want to clear up something with Bless This House.
Yeah, how it came about anyway.
I've heard so many stories about how it came about and why it was written and what it was written for. I remember Ruth Blackman contacting me.
Oh yeah, she was the clerk for the House of Assembly.
Right, and always supportive, very supportive. And she contacted me asking me they would like for me to sing a song for the opening of the house. It was huge then.
What year was that?
Around 2005, I think the song came out.
Oh, okay.
2004, 2005,
Oh,
actually
okay.
around that time. And she asked me to find a song that is appropriate for the event. And of course, they ask you something, you go searching. And I couldn't find anything appropriate for that occasion. So Barbara Johnson, no one told me to write a song for the occasion. I was asked to find a song that was appropriate.
That you could sing.
That I can sing. I decided to write one.
Oh, what a lovely song.
I decided to write one and contacted Quentin Dean to, of course, produce the music for the song. And the lyrical content along which depicted what was happening at that time. Because if you listen to the lyrics of the songs back then and what it is now, things have changed. And so that's how the song came about. And
how long it took you to write that song?
2 days.
Oh, okay.
2 days, because it just flowed. And the information was already there because I wrote about what was actually happening. So it didn't take long at all. And it's just the harmony, and Quentin and I worked in the studio, and it was beautiful and magical.
We love it.
And the response that we received from it, there's no ownership in the sense that Quentin owns. The thing about it is, the House of Assembly, this was something that I was approached with. And from my understanding, I was just paid to sing the song. There was no talks and no sit down or anything to say that the House of Assembly bought the song from Barbara and they now own it. Quentin was paid for his work. I was paid to sing it. I didn't get paid to write it. Because I just thought it was just something that I would just do for the occasion. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, that's where it ended.
Yeah.
But I've heard so many, the song will belong to you, and I'm like,
wow.
I don't recall selling the rights of it to anyone.
That's your song.
So that's where I stand on that.
So let me ask you this. So how does this work in the music industry? Because I'm not familiar with the music industry. Like when other people sing your songs, do they come to you for permission, or is it
Yes,
just
some of them do. Some of
what
them
is the
do,
standard?
And some of them do. Like for example, and sometimes we play a role in that. Like for example, let's talk about Bless's House in that sense. There was another House of Assembly opening where Bless's House was requested. And the same day that was happening, I was scheduled for surgery, the very same day. And so I could not even go to perform the song. But another angelic voice, Miss Robin Hines, I called on her and asked her if she can sing the song for me in my absence. And what I did was send her the instrumental music, performance track, we call it, for the song. She's been doing an amazing job and singing it ever since.
Okay. Okay, so that's good to know. 'Cause
No. I mean, and I'm grateful to the House of Assembly for keeping the song alive.
Mhm.
And
Powerful song though.
yeah, keeping the song alive. So kudos to Angela and the crew over there. Thank you so much.
And so you have another album, right? Is it the
Chronicles
Chronicles?
of the Songbird.
And that had quite a number of songs.
13 originals.
13. You did that at Brady Hall, right?
Yes. It was the concert to launch it.
Okay. Did you produce that? Mr. Ferguson was done that, or you did?
No. That was done here by Mr. Tito Mizzi.
Tito. Oh, yes, my good friend Tito. Okay. Okay. And so tell us some of those songs on that album.
I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Mizzi, and it was an amazing one. He takes you to task just like Mr. Fred Ferguson did with me.
Mhm.
The Bahamas was brutal, by the way, in a good way.
Yeah. You learned from it. Mhm.
Because hitting notes that I didn't dream I could hit, and
You push it.
yeah, is the pushing. It's only until sometimes people push you out of the box. You know you can't go out of the box. Mr. Mystic is the same way,
Mhm.
and the talent that I see here, the people that walk through the doors and the people you work with, it's amazing. My problem is, and I admit what my problem is, it's in my head, because we clashed. I think with the first single I did, in a good way.
Mhm.
And I could not articulate what I wanted for the song for him to understand. He knew.
You mean you're the producer, you're Tito.
Right, because it was in my head, and I just could not get it.
Mhm.
So I had to go back, and which is the same thing with Mr.
Ferguson.
Ferguson. And it's not on them. It was something on me, and until we were able to pass that, then everything else came easy.
Mhm.
Until I had to learn how to explain myself in that area so that they can understand the rhythm, everything that I wanted right. The writing wasn't the problem. It's just the rhythm that I wanted for the song and where it was going.
So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
And-
No, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, you get the final part about this, and that takes you back to the value, because there's a lot of rumors or talks around that other people are underpricing to get into the industry, and so people like you with all this experience, it's like you're either forced now to play.
Oh, we're in the same level. I'm on the
For
same
you.
level
What
with
do you
some
mean? In the same
with
level?
some establishments and performing. It doesn't matter my experience.
Really?
It doesn't matter. I'm on the same level as somebody coming out of high school because of
Seriously?
because of the undermining of the low rates. Years of working to get to a rate an hour, you can get 3 hours now for the same rate.
Is that right?
That's exactly correct. And this is a very candid interview. And
So
I just want to.
no,
It may not. It doesn't seem fair. It isn't fair because what we've done, we've undermined ourselves. I don't blame no establishment for giving us what we asked for.
Mm.
It's us.
Mm.
We have to know our worth, and if we don't know our worth, you're tired. You're exhausted because you're giving all of this time, and you're really not seeing it in compensation. So therefore, it costs longer breaks. But the establishments are willing to deal with it but now it's like across the board. It's like a cap.
And soon that becomes the value.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are or whatever. This is what you're gonna get paid. And you're like trying to fight above water now because it's a new standard that have been set. So there goes the 20 years of work and fighting when you could just go ahead and just do that. And it's disheartening. It's sad, because we devalue ourselves
Yeah.
and our worth and our talent. And, there's some who are receptive of advice in the business and would talk to you, and there's some who's like, they don't want to hear from nobody. We here now. We all old school, we're here now. No problem. We may be old school, but at the same time, though, all I'm saying to you, I've always said that I'm on my way out. When I look at the caliber of entertainers up there, the new ones, they are amazing. They're amazing. They got the Tess and the Devontae, Shauna, Apples. Listen, they only thing I pray for is that they all know their value, their worth, and that they were given an easier path than I had to walk. Because it's a totally different side to what I had to do being an only female in the business. The dynamics of that was brutal, that I had to go through. I've never belonged to a band. I've always wanted to belong to a band. But I always get no girls allowed it.
So you experience discrimination because you're female?
Of course.
This
is aimed for you. Yeah. And I'm going like, hold on. We got the Whitney Houstons and we got all these other people. We mean female. But in the industry here, for me, it was beautiful. I thank God for people like Max Clear, Mellow. Those are men that I stand on their shoulders. I stand on their shoulders because they were there to nurture and guide.
Now I used to say that we don't experience discrimination based on gender.
Man, it's here.
Wow.
It's here. It's here. I experienced it in the industry.
And how did you overcome that? I mean,
well, it worked itself out for me.
Oh, okay.
But in the sense that I blame you for that, though.
You blame me?
I blame you for that.
Elaborate on that.
And I will. When I did my album in the Bahamas, there was a backlash. The backlash was absolutely heavy.
Really?
Because I went to the Bahamas to get it done.
But you're waiting 10 years.
Without people knowing the backstory. See, people don't care about the backstory. They're just looking at, you just up and just left. It didn't just happen like that. It didn't happen like that. Those who cared to listen, asked, and I was able to say, and those who cared to run with their own story, up to this day, they're still running with it, so let them run. I remember it was so bad, the backlash was so bad, that when the music festival came around, I had just launched my CD at Cable and Wireless. Do you remember who was here at Cable and Wireless? That same Fred Ferguson was here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
He was not here for the launch of the CD. He wasn't. Because I was one of the artists that was on the lineup.
The festival.
No musician. No musician, with the exception of Mello and a few others, refused to play for me. No one would play for me.
Because your music was...
Because I did in the Bahamas.
You produced it.
And so it was, at the time it was under the Michael Music administration. And I know at that time it was brought to his attention, I couldn't find a band to play for me. And that was the honest truth. Some were willing and some wasn't, because I went to the Bahamas. And it was amazing because all of those artists only play Bahamian music, so why are you mad at me? That's what I don't understand. That's what we do play.
We hardly play local music around here.
We mostly play Bahamian music. And when we're looking for artists, we bring the artists from the Bahamas, we bring them here.
You're right.
So, and we play for them here. We know these songs better than we know our own local songs.
Wow.
Right? And I remember, our Michael Music at the time, he said, okay, Barbara, don't worry about that. You know, you're gonna have a band. And we contacted Fred Ferguson and the Bahamian Band.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
See, people see things and then they got even more mad because the Bahamian Band came to play for me.
But they didn't want to play.
You were given first opportunity. For everything that I do, I always give my people, who I consider my people, first opportunity. And so, yes, Tingham Dem Band, the entire band, the background singers, Mike Missick, Honorable Mike Missick, brought them from the Bahamas to play for me at the music festival.
Wow. Wow, this is what you went through.
And then there were more backlash with that because after that, you know, there were house bands that used to play at the resort for me, and there was an experience when I went back on. My children were still with me, Denovian and James, and I've never seen a band play so poorly. It's the first time I experienced a band play for me that I was brought to tears. The singers who were supposed to sing wouldn't open their mouth. I was supposed to do a duet with someone who didn't open their mouth. And I ended up singing the song by myself, so I played both roles.
So they didn't support you? Or?
I think they were upset about what transpired, but it's a domino effect from what you created. Okay, they didn't. The Bahamian Band didn't have to come here.
No.
It's because you refused to play for me because I went to the Bahamas to do my album. It's like I was here all this time, and then so this thing about the Bahamian, don't mind her. She's a Bahamian anyway. That's why she went back home to do her album.
Wow.
You see how they
Well, I mean, not a Bahamian. You were born there, but you are Turks and Caicos Islands.
It's all right, man. I'm in between you.
Well, for your Turks and Caicos Islands. Anyway, that didn't.
One thing I'm sure of, I'm a child of God.
That's for sure.
So however you want to label me, you can't take that from me, right?
It's like people try to find excuses as to why they behave the way they behave.
Exactly.
Because they had done it here locally, they might have still find another excuse.
And so that was that night. That performance that night came to an. That was the last time I performed with that band. Because the entertainment manager at that time was sitting all the way in the back. And the way the band played for me, it was not our normal show because we hit it out in the park. You get guests, foreigners in front of you you're performing for. And my Calypso song became.
So, you all didn't practice before?
No, it was a show that we normally do.
Oh, okay.
It was a show, we knew the show. But it was just, I guess, their way of saying.
To get back at you.
To get back at me for it, right. And so, I'm singing and I'm, doing in the band. And it was, I remember Mello was the only one, Mello Garland. That's all, he was the only one that was doing his bass. I'm like, come on guys. And after that, I went back. It was crazy. As I was walking down, it was time for the band to play. And it was almost like someone struck a match and put it on, because they lit up like
But just for you.
For me, it was, yeah. And that was a defining moment for me. That must be
embarrassing though.
It was embarrassing because this was the first time, I saw people, the applause was like, I wasn't getting that from that show that we did, because we had an amazing show.
Wow.
And I remember the entertainment manager walking backstage. Crazy thing about it, that band was there to play, to back me up that night. And so when the entertainment manager met me backstage, he said, what do you want to do? He said, you don't have to tell me anything. I saw it all. What do you want to do? Get your music. If you need equipment, I'll give you time to get the equipment. You get your CD of the songs that you will do for an hour, or let's have 45 minutes, a 45-minute show. You bring the CD, we'll put it in, and we'll let you play it to our speakers until, and I've been on my own ever since.
Okay. So something good came out of that.
And like I said, I thank them. Something good came out of it. Because for every time something like that happened, another door, an
Mhm.
avenue was open.
Wow, what a story.
So that's the backlash from me,
Going to the
from
Bahamas
you.
to get your album produced that you waited so long to get done.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Barbara, I know we talk about the music career and all that stuff, but of course, behind that, you have a wonderful support team. Your two boys, Novi and James. Tell us about your boys. And you're also a grandmother.
Sorry, I'm baby. My boys, Denovian and James, they are the love of my life. I call them heartbeat one, heartbeat two. They keep me grounded. I live for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're my critics. They're my producers. Because believe it or not, the sound, everything that I do, it goes through them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't like it, even my vocal.
Oh, they check it out first.
Oh, they
Okay.
are
Nice.
and they're brutal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Novi will look at me like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
And you all know him as DJ.
Yes,
DJ
Novi's a
Savage,
DJ. Mm-hmm.
making a name for himself. So I'm
Mhm.
proud of him.
Oh yeah.
And James actually produced 4 songs on my last album.
Really?
Because because he plays the piano,
Oh, okay.
and I'm trying to find the melody. I've got it in my head, so I'm able to work with him in getting it outside. There was another tactic. Instead of me trying to explain it, I let James try to guide in playing it, and then I would send it to Mr. Music.
Mm.
Because it was, because I could not.
Those children are
So
blessing.
listen, I live for them.
Mm-hmm.
I well up sometimes, but no matter what I go through, they are there.
Oh,
People talk about you need a girl. Those boys have done for me what any girl would do for their mom.
Mm.
Okay, and I thank them. I'm proud of them for everything that they've done. As a single mom, it wasn't easy.
Mm.
No, it wasn't easy. But when you see them in need or whatever, you got to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so for them, it's for them. The nays and the no's. When I turn those no's into yes, it's God that's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
He knows my heart, and He's provided.
Yeah.
Every step of the way. Then Novi gave me 2 grandbabies already, Malachi and Noah.
Oh, beautiful names.
Yeah, biblical.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I love them dearly, and James is making his mark.
Okay.
So I'm excited and waiting,
Yes.
and I'm proud.
Yes.
I'm proud
Yes.
of the family I have.
Yes.
Very proud of them. And you
Happy
mentioned
for you.
along the way my support team. I've got my siblings that I said,
Mm-hmm.
Dante and Melanie and Melissa, who was watching from New York on Monday night when I was honored by
Mm-hmm.
the culture department.
Yes.
And my auntie June spoke about prayer warriors. I only had a few hours to put my words together for a response on Monday. And so there were a few people that kind of got omitted, not intentionally, but when you're trying to put everything together.
Yeah, that happens.
And calling names, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
But my auntie Joan, she looks like my mom, by the way.
Oh, here's your mom's sister.
My mom's sister from Nassau, Bahamas. And I call her out. While there have been many family members of supporting and loving, by extension, I call Auntie Joan out because she's been steadfast, constant. Never, especially even after mom died, never left my side.
Very good.
Where she stands out, she not only prays for me, she prays with me.
That's good.
Right?
That's
So
very good.
shout out to my Auntie Joan. Thank you for being there. Thank you for praying for me. And there are a few friends I've lost, 2 amazing friends, Carolyn Gardner and Ellery Nat Walters. But I've also have a few others that I called their names on Monday as well. but also watching was my dear friend Rochelle Sinclair from Nassau.
Yes, I know.
They were all, yes, they were all, yes, right, from
Mhm.
South Caicos, you would know. She's an amazing friend. My sister was there with her, my 15 million plus friends on Monday to support me for Chic. And so these are people come into your life and they're there.
Yeah.
Never mind the ones who have left. You know, there's loss of people that left. Death is one thing, but when you have friends or family that kind of walked away from you, I used to feel like it left a void, but over time you realize that God removed them for many reasons.
You got that right. You have got that right. Before we go any further, but I know you talked earlier about the awards. Let's talk about the awards because people watching this may not be aware of the awards.
Yes,
So let's go back to that. You were honored
on Monday.
by the Department of Culture. I think it's their first time doing the Culture Awards.
I think so.
And you were one of the 3 persons
Yes.
being honored. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Were you surprised?
Yes, elated. And want to give a shout out to Miss Laduna, Director of Fulford.
The director of
Miss
Culture.
Laduna, yes, Director of Culture, Miss Laduna Fulford, and her team for an amazing job. The highlight of that was the tribute by the other fellow entertainers, and it brought me to tears. And then the backdrop there, seeing all those photos of my mom, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, it brought back so many memories. So I want to give a shout out to them and thank them.
Yeah. You're being honored, Barbara. You're being honored.
Yes, it's the third
And you
time
deserve
for
it.
the year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I know of another one. I wasn't with the 3, but I'm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Humphrey Forbes, our Super P, he did honor artists during the In the Bush event.
Yes.
And then Sir Lake and Rita Gardner, they honored me in Grand Turk on a summer jam. So I did go. I'm going.
Okay. I wasn't
With
aware
my
of that one.
game, yes.
Okay.
I'm going, and that was amazing. They treated me with such class and
You deserve it.
respect.
You
And
deserve
so
it.
I'm grateful
You
to
deserve
all
it.
of them. Thank you.
Now, Barbara, I don't want to get too much involved in your personal life, but I know, like me, I've experienced health issues, and I noticed that I'm aware that you also experience health issues. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that and how it affect your life, how it affect your career, and what lessons have you learned from all of that, Barbara?
Ooh, my health. I do have health issues that affect me greatly, especially with my mobility. There's some other things going on that I don't want to disclose at this time, but the ones that I've made public, because I have been in a struggle for a long time, dealing with my legs. I did have 2 knee replacements. One was a success, one was not. And as a result of that, I have to walk with a cane. And my doctors there, Dr. LeBlanc and everybody, has just been amazing. The therapists, I think Miss Debbie and Miss Sherrill, they no longer care. But the new set of therapists have been amazing. Ms. Ashana, she's my therapist. And they've just been amazing in dealing with all parts of my body, I guess, as it relates to the deterioration of what's happening, deficiencies. And I learned to cope with it.
Yeah.
I tried to stay out of people's way as much as possible because I find that many are not very kind in your daily movements. If you're moving too slow, or you're standing in line and you think if she thinks she's gonna get in line before me because she got this cane.
Wow.
I've had people curse me out for the handicap parking space. That one was wild. And I come to the conclusion. You know this segment that they have about sick and shut-in people? You will always go to church and you will see them, the list of names of
Yes,
people
yes.
that are sick and shut-in in their pamphlet. For what I've experienced just in dealing in my movements, I can understand why they're sick and shut-in. The things people say, you don't want to go in public. You don't even want to go in public. And hence the reason why my children mostly go out and do things for me.
You looking down on that?
The things is it's crippled. You and you hear it. You would you will literally hear it. You will hear them say things. Even to the bank. If I go to the bank, I would always go for 7:00. If I go to the bank.
And the bank don't until 9.
The bank don't open until 9. Just to avoid this thing that they feel like I show up at 9:00 for entitlement.
Seriously?
Seriously. And I will sit in my car. I will be there before the security sometimes. And I will sit in my car and wait until the bank opened. And I will watch the line get long and long, wrap around the building almost. And when it's 9:15, I will come out my car. And you would still hear, where she thinks she's going? And, and they will be talking to the security. Well, I was here before. I had a pass to do, but Bob's, I know you get this game, but I need to so and so and so. And I said, sure, I'm not going to get before you. I wait my turn.
Wow, Barbara.
And so sick and shut in, the way the things people say, but this crippled woman going, you hear it, and it makes you really don't want to come out your house.
Wow.
Like I don't want to come outside. Like I literally don't want to come out.
And does that also impact getting engagements from the resorts? Because your voice is still your voice hasn't gone.
There's been a situation where I was asked to do something. And crazy thing about this is we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
The things that I'm talking about is not so much hearsay.
So right.
Because God has placed me in some positions to hear things with my own ears.
But they don't know you're there.
And they don't know I've heard it. They don't know. And so I've heard things that have been said in meetings. She's washed up now. And nobody want to deal with no cane right now. Let's get somebody who's young and vibrant. You hear this stuff.
Wow.
And the people that it comes from, listen,
wow.
To my core, I'm shocked that these are the people that I hold in high esteem. And these are people who I've been up and down with, these same legs. These same legs. When they called upon me in the past, it was these legs that took me to your event. Some for nothing. And so to hear, I know there was a show that was happening.
Wow.
And I was called to perform. I was excited. And then someone called me while a meeting was going on. And it was said, we have to move Barbara, because by the time she gets up there with the cane and all that stuff, we need to show the flow. I heard it with my own ears.
Oh, that's insensitive.
And so I was waiting. So when the person called me the next day to say, we had some changes in the show, and I was expecting it, and I said, sure, with the most upbeat, sure, no problem, I understand. But I had already heard them in the meeting the day before, because someone wanted me to hear. And I listened to it, and I was floored. And so I've been passed over. Before my legs, I was passed over for something, because some people it's okay not working with you. Just by the way you treat us, it's fine. I'm okay not working with you. But it's just sick and shut in.
So you were treated different anyway, but now you're treated different even more since you.
It's worse, and I'm grateful to those who, because even I would call this resort name, even with beaches, Turks and Caicos, and kudos to them. I thank them. because I started with them in 1996
96.
performing. And when my legs gave out on stage, my legs gave out twice on stage. The entertainment manager at that time, I was pulled aside and we see that you're struggling. We know that you have some issues with the legs and we don't want you to go. How about we try another setting for you?
Oh, they accommodated.
Yes, they did.
That's good.
And that setting was, let me sit in a lounge area, just sit with my microphone and just serenade the people, and people would just sit and listen.
Yeah, you still got your voice.
I'm, dancing up on stage.
Yeah.
There was a time I wore stiletto tights,
Yeah.
high heel shoes, and moving about as a beauty queen and all that, But to be able to still sing, and some of them act like my vocal cords in my knees.
You know what I mean?
My vocal cords are not there.
Wow.
And the same way that they listened to me when I was up and down on the stage is the same way, even more, they listen to me now.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to engage them.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But this mindset and the way we treat people with disabilities really have to change. But like I said, you only have to go. Sometimes we only see the magnitude of something until we go through it ourselves.
That's true.
I've had a dear friend who was upset about what we need parking spaces for.
For like people handicapped?
And so if you feel that way, how do you feel about me? Call me your friend. How do you feel about me? I need it. And I've had to walk from businesses and people being upset, and I go like, man, take it. I'm not gonna argue with you over a handicap spot. Take it.
Wow, Barbara, you.
And then it's not just me. I'm
I
not just
know.
talking about
but
my
your experiences.
with it.
But a lot of people experience it too.
Right, but then now the clarity of people being sick and shut in, we put them there. People are willing to go out to churches. Are there provisions for some of these people when they go to church? Are there rails for them to hold up? I mean, you go to resorts and you see there's a bar for handicapped people. Does the church have it? While we're busy getting our big television screens and all this stuff.
Right about it.
We're not looking, and some churches have.
Yeah.
They've put emphasis on trying to, get the people out, to bring them out and stuff and make life a lot easier in their movements. But because of my mobility issues, man, I hate to go out in public.
Wow, I'm so
I literally
sorry.
hate to go out in public. I only go out if I have to, but I prefer to be home.
Well, I hope after this interview this year, I hope that changes are being made. And changes will be made because we have to accommodate people. And like you say, you haven't lost your voice.
No.
You still can sing,
Thank you
Wow.
for that.
Barbara, what are your plans? What's next for you?
What's next for me? I was asked that question recently, and honestly, I want to be at peace.
Yeah.
I want my children to strive, to be okay,
Yeah.
to be well taken care of, my grandchildren.
Yeah.
I don't need no confusion in my life. I want to see God's face. And I just want to live peacefully
Yeah.
and happy.
Yes.
That I'm humble for everything that has happened. I've worked hard. And while there's still a lot in me, I feel to give, to help, to write. I am tired. I don't know how else to explain it, but the word tired, I think, describes a lot of having to deal with so many things.
Yeah.
I don't have time for drama.
No.
I don't have time to defend rumors. Because I'm of the opinion these days that if you accuse me of giving love and you accuse me of receiving, I'm going to say yes. The only thing that I will defend, don't lie on me.
Mm-hmm.
I must, if you say I lie, steal, and give bodily harm to somebody, I will defend that because that's not in me.
Right.
But you can accuse me of anything, you come after me, I'm going to say yes.
Mm.
Go with it. The thing about it, that's my wonderful, dear ball of fire friend always said in her song. Got my name stink all over the place. Go right ahead.
Mm.
I have no energy
Yeah.
for the negativity.
No.
I only want positivity in my life. If it's negative, please don't come around me. Keep it moving.
I like that. That's a nice way to live. I like
And
that.
that's all I.
You already left the legacy anyway. Your legacy is here.
I wouldn't say that I'm done in the sense. I will offer my help wherever, if it's welcome. Because there's some people who don't.
Mm.
You know, she old, she washed up. We don't want to get nothing from her. And so I've been pushed in this bubble.
Wow.
And that's fine too.
That's not fine.
No. From my perspective.
Mm.
From my perspective. When you've already given what I have.
Yeah.
And you find people that feel that way. There's life yet to live, which is another opportunity for them to learn. I can't do it for them. They gotta find it. They gotta do it themselves.
I understand.
I can only give guidance or advice, and if you're welcome to hear it, I'm welcome to. You know,
I understand.
I give it, but for me, it don't faze me either way.
Yeah.
Those who come to support, it's like you know who these people are.
Yeah.
You get some people who will show up for people right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And then for you, it's like whatever. And I smile at that because the greatest right now, they say, Beyonce she's the thing right now, right?
So they say.
Everybody, that's
Yeah.
what they say. Everybody, but it's not. She have a beehive, and there's some people who don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you in entertainment, you're gonna have people that support what you do, and you're gonna have people that don't support.
That's true.
It's not everybody is gonna like you.
Yeah.
It's not everybody. There's a lady, and I have to say this. There's a lady that I respect highly. Every time I say good morning, good afternoon, how are you? She is very unhappy. She doesn't want to hear from me. And so I stopped her one day and I asked her, did I do something to offend you? And she said, no. Did I do something to hurt you? No, I just don't like you.
Oh.
Let me tell you why I respect her truth. I prefer her any day than for somebody who's
To pretend.
and loving me. And I would sit to a table with her, and every time I see her, how you doing, hon? You all right? And just the way she put her head in the air, because she don't like me.
Wow.
I respect her more than the person who's hugging me, giving me love, and
They know they don't like you.
deep down you just plotting against me and all that stuff.
Wow.
Give me her any day.
Wow. How many songs you written?
25 originals.
25. Wow. That's a great milestone.
And more.
That's a great milestone.
A few more I've started but haven't completed. I write a lot.
Yeah. That's good. Well, Barbara, I just want to really, really thank you for this opportunity. I am so honored to have you on the show. I'm really honored. You have any closing remarks you'd like to share with the viewers?
Yes, I do. For everyone that have made a great impact in my life, I say thank you. The list would be long, and many have already departed this earth. One of the persons that I wanted to make mention was Dr. Hugh Fulford.
Beautiful. Okay.
He worked along with my mentor, the late Joseph Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very instrumental. He was the musical director for the first cultural group of the Turks and Caicos of which I was a part of. And I want to thank him because he guided me along the way with many things. And there's so much names, but I just wanted to make sure because I wanted to say something to him, and I'm grateful and thankful for everything that he's done. For the entertainers, know your worth. Know your worth. My family and friends, they know how I feel about them. My children, I live for them right now. I just want peace, love, respect, and the way we treat each other in this country must definitely change.
Yeah.
The way we treat each other. And like I said before, it'll be a better nation for it. I thank you for everything that you've done to assist in my career. We haven't even touched base on some of the places I've been and the things that I've done. And no social media back then to even to give you to capture a lot of what I've done. But that was because of the doors that you opened for me, and I want to thank you for that.
So far as an artist, during election campaigns, you would find that
Silly season.
they call it silly season, yes. You'll find that politicians will be writing songs and not writing songs, playing songs. Were you approached? Did you write any? Were you involved in writing songs and playing songs for any of our politicians or political parties?
I've been approached many times. Many times. There's good and bad about that. It's an opportunity that artists would write and you could get your work out there. Go get supported then. But the backlash of that comes after as well. Now, I always just tell them, don't come to me. Don't ask me. I've already
That's
been...
you tell the politicians?
No, don't come to me and ask me to write anything. No.
But before you did, but because of your
I never wrote anything for them.
Oh.
I actually sang on and I don't think the Honorable O.O. Skipping knows this, my dear friend. But he did a song. He wrote a song. So he's an amazing writer. And called If You Love the PDM. Show You Love the PDM.
Ah, yes, I think I know that
If
song.
you love the PDM, show you love the PDM. Raise, raise your hand up high.
I know that song.
Yes. I sang on that track.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
I did. And my first encounter with it, someone had it as their ringtone. And I was standing in line at an establishment, government establishment, standing in line, waiting to be served. And the person's phone rang. And there goes
That ringtone came.
Now, my family have been known to be PNP supporters, but there have been times where I know that we voted for people on the other side,
Right.
based on who was running,
The person.
who was available, and who we think is suitable, not available, suitable to do the job. So,
And that's how I think it should be anyway.
okay. But the person knowing that my family have been PNP supported, she said, yeah, you, she pointed at me, take that. And so the person took, there's two people in the back of me. I said, Papa, that song cute. Just like you sing the song. I said, And the person said, you know that's her singing that song, right? Not this ringtone. I said, you sure?
Oh, so they didn't even know that was you singing?
No. But she was jeering me.
Because they know your family.
Was right.
Ah.
Right. Supported the PNP party. For me, it was work.
Yeah.
But they don't view it as work. What happens is, and the reason why I don't come to me and ask me, is because on both sides they do it. And I would say to any artist that is doing it, whenever they come to you, make sure that you're paid for the next 4 years. You receive enough to take care of you for the next 4 years in the event,
They lose.
they lose.
The party lose who you have reason
Right?
for.
Because what happens after that, whoever wins the next party who you didn't sing for will victimize you. You won't get no jobs. They will overstep you and get anybody who they think is their supporter.
Wow.
But they will go on stage and talk about, we're here for
Turks and
people of the
Caicos.
Turks
And unite, we must come together.
And I'm going like, but you got a set of artists over here who sang for you. So our opposition, are we included as a part of the Turks and Caicos Islanders that you are here to represent now? So for me, no. I'm not going to sing for you. I'm not going to sing for nobody. Now, if you all win, whoever wins, and you have an event that you would like to invite Barbara Johnson to sing, once I'm available and can do it, yes. But for the silly season, no, because you will treat these artists terrible when you're done.
You know what? That's that. You know, I didn't really. I know that we have this victimization going on. I know that we're not mature enough in this country.
No, the
whereby we
politicians
see
ain't
each other
mature
as
enough
PNP or
deal with
PDM.
to
But I didn't realize
man.
it reached to the
Yes, it
to the
does.
music industry as well.
It does, because I can tell you,
I believe
after
you.
it came out that I was the one that sang that song for Honorable O.O. Skippins, which I looked at as a job. This is the one time that you will support the local artists. One time that they make a couple of dollars from you.
Mhm.
Okay? And what you turn around and do? I hardly got any work from the party that won.
Mhm.
No, they don't call on me.
Because you sang.
They don't call on me. They would go to everybody else but Barbara. All of the events that they have, if you notice, Barbara isn't there. Barbara isn't there because I'm not called, but they would invite anybody but me.
Wow. I mean, I understand. I mean,
It is what it is.
but we're so small. More than likely, we can use you for both political parties.
That's why look at artists look at it as their work.
Mm-hmm. It is work.
It is work. You hire just like how, and I'm going like it will be interesting to have both political parties hire an artist to write for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
How about do that? If you just get one side, I would ask, but if I sing for this side,
And you're
my
labeled.
goodness,
You're labeled.
and you lose that side, where you're labeled.
Yeah.
You're labeled. Like me, don't label me. Because if I think that you're good for the job, I don't care which side you're on.
Mm-hmm.
I will vote for you if I think that you're capable
Yeah.
to represent me.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that my mindset with the politicians, I was at an event and I think it was a conference or something, but they had entertainment that night and all the representatives were there lined up. And up next was me, Barbara Johnson, the songbird of the Turks and Caicos Islands, coming up next. I was elated, I was proud, because now I get to perform for all the politicians, my people, my representatives. One of them, before I went on stage, came and said that, they were tired and they could not stay for my performance, but know that they support me.
That's nice.
I thought great. It's okay. What happened next, I was not prepared for.
Sometime everybody left.
Everybody left. And I remember someone coming to my ears and saying, no matter what goes on around you, I can't say some other words they said, the show goes on.
Continues.
I was gutted to the point of tears. I cry very easily, but I had to swallow and I had to put on a smile in front of all of these people in front of me. Ladies and gentlemen, the songbird of the Turks and Caicos Islands and my people.
Yeah.
And so for me, the last thing That what that left me with on the inside. I will respect your position, but I expect nothing.
Wow. And we talk about promoting our own and being there for our own.
That was a defining moment for me
Yeah.
in the political arena. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they just did what?
Yeah.
Everyone.
It was an international artist, they would have said.
Oh, most likely, of course. Of course. I accepted the excuse of the one that had
Yes.
had
Yes.
the, you know, they were tired, they would love to stay. And they had a early morning start again, and you know, they had a long day, and it's a sure I understood it. But to have everybody walk out right before I'm supposed to go on stage, yeah. I respect you in the position you hold, but I expect nothing from you. Not in representation. And that's like saying, okay, not because they did that, you're gonna take this brush now and brush everybody with it. But it's been the same old,
Yeah.
no matter who's in power,
Yeah.
it's the same old. We, for some reason, we still have this thing that foreign is better. We do.
Yeah, we do.
And that's just not all the people, that's our representatives who's here to represent you. Their action shows
Suddenly
it.
that's the impression, you know.
So, and that's why when you say I sing, I don't mind who don't call me locally. My people and their events, I don't mind. You choose who you want. You have that right. You're entitled to that. But it ain't nothing. I will continue to do what I've always been doing. Whether you come or you go in the political arena, and they're sitting there and entertaining the guests to shows. I'm still your ambassador.
You are.
Through music, through entertainment. I still sit there and promote this country because I love home. I love the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Wow. Now, of those 25 songs you've written and sang, what's your favorite?
Missing You is two. It's two that I hold.
Okay.
I hold dear. And these were two that were special dedication.
To your mom?
To my mom and to my sons, called Heartbeat.
See You in Heartbeat.
Heartbeat is a song most people don't know, but it's on my last album, Chronicles of the Songbird of TCI.
Okay, we gotta look for that.
I will send it to you because even though it's been out there, you can purchase it on. Sorry for this. I talking about purchase.
It's okay.
There's a Turks Islander right now who's reaping the benefits of Time for Me CD. It's being reproduced. It was on Amazon. It's no longer available right now. But
They reproduce the song?
Yeah, they reproduce the album, like they make copies and they sell it on.
Oh.
They sell it on. I don't know anything about it though.
Oh. So, without your authorization?
Oh yes, it's a lot of that. In business.
No copyrights? You have copyrights?
Oh wait, like my songs, they in the process of I have to protect my songs. But the CD, Time for Me, you could look it up on Amazon. And but this was going on before, because remember when they did Time for Me, we did not launch on Amazon or anything like those platforms at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, but someone who lives abroad is and so the business aspect is another thing that I would like to say to other entertainers. Be careful of your business negotiations and dealings. Be in charge of everything that you do. Because while they will not support you, they will capitalize on your work. So I got to the bottom of it. And wrote Amazon and da. So
it was no longer available. Wow. Thanks again, Barbara.
You are very welcome. You're very welcome.
Wow. Thank you again for watching the Drexel SEMA show. And I think we could conclude, there's so many different life lessons we can learn from this conversation with Barbara. And I'm quite sure some of you could relate to some of the things that she have gone through and still going through. Maybe the good thing about it, though, in the end, that something good will always come out of it. And I hope that you are inspired and you're energized and propelled to move higher after listening to this conversation with Ms. Barbara Johnson. Thanks again, Barbara.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
From the moment I brought you